we're going to look at here on this particular shot is imagination, okay? Golfers tend to sort of fall into, I think, when they get out and play, is they just play every shot the same way. And I think when you look at the great players, when you look at someone like Tiger Woods, Seve, players like that who are magicians around the green, what they do is they have a variety of options. And I think the biggest reason for this, if we're honest, is the amount of time you're able to put into your game. These guys, that's what they do for a living. They've done it from a young age. They've probably experimented and had a go at these different shots. And I think most club golfers haven't got enough time to maybe generate different shots. But it'd be great if you can. For me, your imagination is everything. So we've got here a little 30-yard pitch onto the green. Quite a common shot we get this time of year where the flag is cut at the front of the green. Greenkeepers just want to look after their golf courses, maybe put the pins a little bit more on the front, give the back of the green a little bit of a rest for later on in the year. So we've got not really a lot of green to work with. In this particular shot, we're playing off a little bit of a downhill lie, on a downhill running up to the green, a little bit of a false front, and then we've only got about 10 feet of green to play with. And what I think most people would do in this situation, this is the 8th hole at Corinthians, par 4, and they've driven the ball nicely. They've only got themselves this left. It's not a particularly long par 4. And the first club they'll go to will be, straight away, something like an 8-iron. They'll take an 8-iron. I'm not saying that's not the right shot. And they'll think, well, I don't want to hit this ball up in the air. Okay? And it probably is, if we're honest. It's not a bad shot in this situation. The ground running up to the green is pretty good, quite dry, even in February. So it looks like the safe shot. And you can probably read the shot a little bit like a putt. Look at the lie of the land, think I can aim a little bit out to the left and bring it in. So if we're going to play an 8-iron, let's go through 3 options of shot. An 8-iron shot, I want to be in control of the club. So what I'm going to do, number 1, is I don't want power. I don't want to feel like I'm playing a full 8-iron shot. I want to feel now I'm trying to hit a ball 30 yards. This is probably, for most golfers, might hit an 8-iron 130, 140 yards, and now we're only looking to hit it 30. So it's a bit like me saying to you, if I said you throw a ball, for power, you'd stand wide to get energy. If you're just going to do a little underarm throw, you'd probably go a bit narrow with your stance. Do the same with your pitching. Do with your chip shots around the green. Look at the power that you're going to put into the shot and decide what you're going to do as you get physically to that ball. For this, I know this is a much more powerful club than what I'm going to play. So the first thing I'm going to do when I set up to the ball is I'm going to go with a much narrower stance to play the shot up to the green. Number 2, I'm not looking to hit the ball high. Reason why I've chosen an 8-iron. But the second thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to play the ball a little bit closer to my back foot. Okay? Because my stance has got narrow, that makes me a little bit taller. It will feel a little bit more like you're playing like a putting shot. You're not looking to really think to yourself, I'm going to put a lot of power into this. Okay? So the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grip slightly down the club. But what I do is I create my posture and then I take the grip. Now, the reason I do this is because on this particular lie, the ball is below my feet. What I see a big error in golfers is they'll take their grip and then they'll fit their posture around that. Find your posture that you feel comfortable with, put the club behind the ball, and then let your arms hang to that position. So now I've got the club nice in my hands. It feels like now I can just swing down the slope. I'm just going to feel a little bit of weight left side because the slope's going that way. And now just go with my instinct. See what happens. Hit the ball low to pop the ball forward, out to the side, run round. And that's the only problem with the shot. Playing down that hill, it just keeps running a little bit. But I'm on the green. I've got myself probably a 20-foot putt. So not a bad result. So now I've got other options. I can go more lofted if I want. Okay, and this is using your imagination. Okay, I've just gone to a standard pitching wedge. Okay, so my standard pitching wedge for my set, and I'm going to do a slightly bigger version of what I just did with the 8-iron. I've got myself now around about 8-9 degrees more loft, so now I should get a little bit more height. If I can land it a little bit softer, it may not run on so much. So actually, I'm going to do a similar thing. Narrow stance is still not a full wedge shot. From there, let my posture create its position, grip down. I'm expecting a little bit more loft, so it should stop a little bit quicker. Pop it up, see what we get. Because I got that little bit more loft, I've got a little bit more control on it. So I've gone from probably 20 feet to now around about 8-10 feet. So that looks a pretty good shot. That looked pretty simple. Then I've got my third option, and this is the one I really get a bit frustrated with, because a lot of pros will say to you, you should never have a lob wedge in your bag. 58, 60 degrees. But we're talking about imagination. We're talking about the different shots. Okay, when you look at the great players, they can play all these different shots. So now all I'm learning is, okay, what do I do with this? Well, amazing, I'm not really going to change my technique. I'm going to let the club do the work. I've now gone from having a club around about 35 degrees to then just over 40 degrees to now 60 degrees. But I'm going to play it in a similar way. What I'm going to gain, though, is I'm going to get a little bit more stop because the club's designed to do it. So I'm imagining that shot. I'm imagining the height. Might need a little bit more power, so I might go a little bit wider than I would with the 8 and the wedge. But I'm feeling that. I'm imagining the shot. I'm letting the club slide. The biggest thing, let the club slide under the ball. From there, let it go through. Let's see what we get. Nice height on the edge of the green. Little bit left, didn't get the bounce. Remember, that's probably my fault. Should have gone a little bit more direct at the hole. Because I've been playing the shot and using the slope and they've come round nicely to the hole, I still allowed for that a little bit with the lob wedge. Well, actually, the ball was going to stop a lot quicker. So I should have basically gone a little bit more direct at the flag. My weight was perfect. I'm similar distance to the wedge. So for me, I like to see a little bit of height. Don't be scared of getting height, but more importantly, imagine it. 3 different shots, all on the green, all giving me a birdie chance, ranging from about 20 feet down to about 8 or 10 feet. I hope you enjoyed that clip. Look forward to seeing you soon.